What is up, guys? It is your boy Brett Claxton, aka B Clax, and today I am showing you some Detroit Become Human. Now, what is Detroit Become Human, you may ask? I haven't heard of this. I've heard of Detroit, I've heard of humans. Well, Detroit Become Human is a new sci-fi game from the creators of Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Fahrenheit, otherwise known as Indigo Prophecy. In other words, it's another game from the people that created the formula that Telltale have perfected over the years with the likes of The Walking Dead, Borderlands, Batman and so much more. But one thing that Quantic Dream have always done well is make their games very visually appealing as well. And, you know, this is what I'm going to show you off. I'm going to show off a bit of how the demo looks. And I'm also going to run through it more than once because the game actually has quite a few outcomes. I've played through it once already and got what I thought would be a good outcome. Turned out might not have actually been as good as I thought. So I'm going to do two sort of different runs just to show you the variety that this game will hopefully have throughout its entirety. But anyway, enough chatting, more or less bollocks, aren't they? So I'm going to jump in and, you know, feel free to talk in the chat and I'll make sure to try and respond where I can. And I have put that in an awkward place, haven't I? I might move my icon, my little face, if it is going to continue to be an issue. So as you can see, Connor seems to be fairly on it with his hand. He's quite good at flipping things about and just being pretty cool. He's a cool looking guy, isn't he? As you walk around, what have you got? Not much. Oh, let me kneel down. And here we see a fish. It tells you a little about the fish. We can save it or we can leave it. I'm going to save it. I feel I sort of need to save a fish. I can't just let a fish die. So as you can see, we have been able to get it sorted.
Please, you gotta save my little
Hopefully,
girl.
that was all it was.
Wait,
It doesn't seem like it is though.
is that an android?
All right, ma'am. You need to go.
You can't do that. Why aren't you sending a real person? Show us that thing here.
So as you can see, we're in a world with robots. You are a robot, and people don't really like robots. It's that sort of sci-fi cliche that robots are used as an analogy for racism, but you know, it's still kind of cool. You can consult your objectives by hitting R2. I need to find Captain Allen. As you can see, Captain Allen is the big orange fella over there. There's quite a lot of other things I can go look at as well. And if I try to go somewhere else before I do talk to Captain Allen in this situation, it doesn't actually let me. But keep in mind, this is very early in the game, so this is also working as a way to sort of talk you through how to play the game.
My name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife.
It's firing at everything that moves. It already shot down 2 of my men. We could easily get it, but they're on the edge of the balcony. If it falls, she falls.
So as you can see, they don't talk to robots like that. They're robots, they're just talking in general. Deactivation code, I'm going to ask.
Deactivation code.
It's the first thing we tried.
Demon's behavior, emotional shock, deviant's name, emotional
Has he
shock.
experienced an emotional shock recently?
Listen. Saving that kid.
Okay, that's interesting.
So either you deal with this fucking android now, or I'll take care of it.
So last time I played this, I did 2 different questions, and the questions basically were a tiny bit different, and he still got snappy with me on the second question. So I think that's going to be the same sort of whatever happens. But as you can see, I've got an area here that I can analyse. So I'm going to hit down on my right stick, and I can analyse by looking around. So as you can see, I'm using the right stick to move. If I hold triangle and look at the gun, I can find the first bit of a clue. And I can also find out what kind of gun it is, you know, for gun nuts and stuff. That's kind of cool, I guess, if it's a real gun. I do not know. And I can also find this, which tells me the kind of ammunition that is going to be in the gun. So, got both of these things. I can now press square and reconstruct the scene. And this is one of the things that I've really liked when I was playing through the demo first time. So, you fast forward and rewind with R2 and L2. And what you're trying to do is just find a key point. So, the key point here is hitting triangle. Find out that the deviant took the father's gun. So I now know that the person that I'm looking at has the father's gun. Never hit exit. Just basically tells you I figured that out. Well done me. So if we wander about a bit more, understand what happened. Search hostage's room. So I don't know if I can get away with not searching the room, but I did it last time, so I'll do it this time. As you can see, there's something there to examine, and there's something here to listen to. So let's listen to this and see what it is. Seems like generic catchy pop. We know that the child didn't hear the gunshots now. So as you can see, it's very much a detective game. You're trying to figure things out as you go along. And one of the interesting things I'm going to show you here is you swipe using the trackpad, and it swipes across like you were actually using a touchscreen. So now we know his name. It will make negotiations a bit different, allow us to do something a bit more interesting in negotiations. So we're going to go forward and see what we can find. Hostage room is searched. What else is there to see? That's a TV that's been broken. We've already looked at the fish tank. Oop, what's this? So this is a photo of the family. He's analysing something here. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't see this last time. So it tells you all about the people that are there. So just a bit more information. Obviously we saw the woman before, and we know that the hostage is a little girl, which makes me think something may be afoot. And there we go, examine the victims, and here is a victim. So let's sit down and analyse him. Clues to analyse. We have 4 clues to find here. So we've got 1 bullet wound, 2 bullet wounds, 3 bullet wounds, and if I find 1 more, it'll let me. There we go. So it's up here in the face. Sync done tells me who the person is. Now it allows me to reconstruct it, and reconstructing is pretty cool. So if I hit reconstruct, as you've seen before, we can see what happened. So get a nice angle of what's happening, and I can hit triangle, see that the father was holding something. So now I have to rewind to the end, and as you can see here, what he's holding goes flying. And where does it go flying? We go slowly, and it goes flying over here, meaning that I know what I need to find is now over here. It's just a really interesting way to sort of do this crime scene things. It makes it much more of a game than sort of Quantic Dream games have been in the past. So we're going to sit down here, we're going to take this and see what happens. So swipe across. So the robot in question was going to be replaced. So now... Whoa. So someone else has been shot. Is he okay? He is not. Let's analyse this guy. DPT officer was first responder. And what have we got here? We have got bullet wound, lead, something, and I believe this will tell me who it is. So there we go. We can see who the person is and find out a bit more about him. And the estimated time of death. And I forgot to reconstruct there, so I apologise. Is it going to let me? I think it will. Yeah, it will. So let's quickly analyse this to make sure that we do get the reconstruction, because it's a pretty nifty reconstruction this. So fast forward, and we go here. If we go here, you see that the hostage witnessed the shooting, because we can see the bear down the side. If we go here, we can see that the cop shot the deviant. But if we rewind again, keep your eye on what's in the cop's hand, and there you see a gun being thrown over there. So now if we exit, I have the option to pick up the gun, but I'm not going to pick up the gun in this playthrough. I'm going to try something a bit different and see how that goes. In fact, tell you what, I will pick up the gun. Just because I didn't pick it up last time, so it might be slightly different if I do take the gun with me. So as it said there, androids are not allowed to actually carry guns. So obviously
We should take down this asshole.
we can see one. We know that this android does have a gun, and now we're leveling the playing field, giving me a gun as well. Fresh blue blood allows me to see what kind of android it is, and it helps me find out about the deviant's model. Now I believe that we've already studied most of the house, so let's have a quick other look. Family was about to have dinner, which gives us a tiny bit more information, but might as well just go out there, I think. I feel that we've got everything that we are going to get from inside, and I've just got shot.
Stay back!
Brilliant.
Don't come any closer or I'll jump!
No, please, I'm begging you!
I wonder if there's any way I could have not got shot there. So I can give the name or say nothing. I'm going to say the
Hi,
name.
Daniel. My name is Connor.
How do you know my name?
I know a lot of things about you. I've come to get you out of this.
So my plan for this playthrough is to try and do this as calmly as possible and see how it goes.
I know you're angry, Daniel.
So let's start by trying to
You
calm
need to
him down.
trust me and let me help
I
you.
don't want your help! Nobody can help me! All I want is for all this to stop!
So he's stabilised
I
quite
want all
well.
this to stop! Are you armed?
I'm going to say the truth
Yes. I have a gun.
Drop it! No sudden moves or I'll shoot!
here. So
There. No more gun.
I've dropped the gun, but I know that it's nearby if I need to get it. So I can talk about Emma and you. Let's talk about Emma and you.
We're very close. You think she betrayed you, but she's done nothing wrong.
She lied to me!
There we go. Proper boosted the possibilities of doing this well.
But I was wrong. She's just like all the other humans.
Daniel, no!
Let's
They
talk
were
about the
going to
possible
replace
cause.
you, and you became upset. That's what happened, right?
I thought I was part of the family,
There we go. We've already boosted it quite high.
but I was just their toy. Something to throw away when you're done with it.
You're defective, Daniel. There's a problem with your software. We're going to fix you, and everything will be okay.
I don't need to be fixed. I'm working perfectly.
Well, that didn't.
But my
That
eyes
wasn't the
are
plan.
open now. I will never let
Okay.
anyone humiliate me again. Ever. I can't stand that noise anymore.
Okay, this has gone slightly
Tell that
different from the last
helicopter
time.
to get out of here.
I feel I'm very close to talking him down, so I'm going to send these guys away.
There. I did what you wanted.
Now we're going to push forward a tiny bit more.
Listen, there are snipers on every roof. Let the hostage go. You have no other choice.
Wrong choice.
I want everyone to leave. And I want a car. When I'm outside the city, I'll let her go.
That's not going to happen, is it?
That's impossible, Daniel. Let the girl go, and I promise you won't be hurt.
There we go.
I don't
Surely.
want to die. You're not going to die. We're just going to talk. Nothing will happen to you. You have my word.
There we go. Talked well.
Okay.
Did what was needed to be
I
done.
trust you.
So let's see what happens now. And yeah, turns out everything wasn't fine. So I've actually got the same ending this time, which I didn't get last time. But the way that I got there was a bit different. Last time when I got it, I had to do quite a few things to get there. And actually hit all the right notes, whereas this time I actually fluffed it quite a bit. So that was very much doing the job as a police officer, but did mean seeing someone die that, you know, probably wouldn't have died if they were a human. And this scene has a flowchart so we can see what happens. So updated quite a few things this time, it seems. Sniper shots deviant. So if we go back to the start, we have got fish, save fish, talk to Captain Allen, search for clues. So one thing I can do is waste too much time, which I imagine would stop me getting shot. And then we've got friendly approach, be honest without gun, dismiss helicopter, get close enough. So I did get close enough, but then I didn't do much with it. Lie to deviant, build trust, sniper shot deviant. And as you can see, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible outcomes to this entire scene. And keep in mind that this entire thing is just one small part of the game. This is just the opening bit, just to let you know who Connor is. And he's already, like, we've already had a situation where I've got one of them, but imagine playing a 20-hour game and then having to go back in to try and find all the different possible outcomes, and some of them are going to be minor. I doubt there's much ways we could have kept this robot from dying. I think all that's probably changed is how it died. I think there would be different situations and different ways that he would die, and there's probably a way that Connor could get killed off with like a very slim chance. But imagine losing Connor, like this character you've only just got, straight away. And to be fair, I imagine this early on that they would allow you to sort of like rebuild them, and that's maybe why they're doing it with robots, so that they can quite easily, if someone dies, rebuild the robot and just say, oh, you can go again. But hopefully, as is always quite cool, it does do what David Cage games do, and what you do does hold effect. So I remember completing Heavy Rain without hardly anyone, and it was you know, harrowing, and then playing it again and trying to keep people safe, and it was great. And It seems this is the natural evolution of the whole thing. They're just trying to make it so that there is just so much to do that you're just going to have to go and look again and again and again just to see what is in every game. I think Until Dawn really made it obvious to Quantic Dream that they need to up their game. Telltale have already done well, but as I've said before, they don't have great graphics, whereas one thing that we know from one thing Until Dawn did was it was great graphics, and I would argue better than, definitely better than Beyond, arguably better than Heavy Rain. Comes down to your preference, obviously, because Until Dawn is more of a horror game, but I think it did a lot more. It felt like there was more freedom than what Heavy Rain and the Quantic Dream games have had before. So I know I can take too long. I imagine if I take too long, the hostage just kills himself. I'll come back here by mistake. Can I run? Okay, so if you hit R2 you can see prompts as well. And find out what your thing is doing. But we're going to go for a much more aggressive way of getting this time. So obviously we know what this is, so I'm just going to speed through them as quickly as possible. And I believe that you can load up at different points in the chapter as well. We could have loaded in maybe a tiny bit later, but obviously I wanted to just see what would happen if I came in where it told me to play again. Where's the other one? It's up the top, wasn't it? There we go. And it'll be interesting to see what happens if you do play in a more aggressive manner. Because you're obviously shaping the personalities of these people by doing this. And that's one thing that I found really cool about the way that Until Dawn did it, is it gave you these characters and then it was your decision, okay, do I direct these characters to be exactly like they seem to be acting, or do I try and make them much better people? And there was also a situation where it's like, well, I understand that I can save them here, but it would be it feels like a good point for them to die. And it's an awful way to play these sort of games, but it is nice to sometimes play these sort of games with the mindset of, okay, I'm the director, I'm going to shape these characters as I see fit. That's another one down. So I'm going to get my hand on the gun again this time, and as I said, I'm going to lie about the gun and hopefully take him out myself. But we'll see what sort of design choices, what choices we have to make. So this will allow us yet again, as you saw last time, to reconstruct. Let's reconstruct as quickly as possible. And we know the child's there. And we know you shot the cop. Rewind. Turn around. Can I turn around? There we go. And we know there's a gun. So we got the gun, we got everything else. Exit this. Then we're going to go grab the gun. And as I said, my plan is to be much more aggressive this time. I'm not going to use the gun as a way to try and... Sorry, I got distracted there. Oh, sugar. Should probably turn that off. But yeah, I'm not going to use the gun as a way to make myself sort of be more trustworthy. I'm going to use the gun to get rid of this guy. I'm going to try and push him to the edge, but if I need to, I'm going to just get rid of him. So I'm going to get shot. There we go. So despite the fact that I knew the shot was coming,
Don't come any closer or I'll jump!
still got shot. I imagine the only way not to get shot is to take the time for him to run out of bullets, but that would probably lead to even more issues. So let's say his
Hi,
name.
Daniel. My name is Connor.
How do you know my name?
I know a lot of things about you. I've come to get you out of this.
So as you can see, it destabilizes again. Gain Deviant's trust. So, as I said, more aggressive.
Let Emma go. She's just a little girl. She has nothing to do with this.
No way. You'll shoot me the second she's free. But I'm not that stupid. No, I'm not that stupid. Are you armed?
No, I don't have a gun.
You're lying. I know you have a gun.
I'm telling you the truth, Daniel.
I'm not Daniel.
I came here unarmed.
So as I said, more aggressive. Not even going to use any of the research that I've
What
done
you've done is too serious.
for now,
The only
just to
question
see
is
how it
whether or not
goes.
you take another innocent life.
It's not up to you. I'm holding all the cards.
Well, you're not. You're holding
I
a gun.
die. She dies. You hear me?
Blaming?
Look what you did! You were designed to serve humans, not kill them!
What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy? I just wanted them to care about me. I just wanted to matter.
Well, unfortunately,
wanted to be
it seems
someone.
they didn't care too much about you. Let's be slightly sympathetic here. I know that Defective
I know it's
annoys
not your
him, so there's no
fault.
point me trying to do that. And this way I'm at least
These
getting
emotions
closer.
you're feeling are just errors in your software.
No, it's not my fault. I never wanted this.
So as you can see,
I love them. You know?
he's fairly
I was
stable at the
nothing to
moment.
them.
I mean, not
Just
so
a
stable that he's going to let them go, but he's stable enough that I can at least keep talking for now.
I can't
Now I'm
stand
not
that
going to
noise
send these
anymore.
away this time, just to
Tell that
see
helicopter to get
how
out
this
of here.
goes. So refuse.
I don't think they'd listen to me.
Let's do a
You
bluff.
don't really want to jump, Daniel. You would have done it already. Now hand me the gun, and this will all be over.
That's
Don't
fucking
come any
badass.
closer. Come any
What?
closer and I swear I'll jump.
Gonna call your bluff.
I've spent my life taking orders. Now it's my turn to decide.
Oh, sugar. Go, go, go! Go, 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 go! Yes! Get in! Oh, sugar! No! That was not the way I expected that to turn out. I thought I'd get a chance to shoot him or something at some point. So is this it? Am I dead? I imagine so. Shit. But this was still, there's still so many more ways to figure this out. There's so many different things that can still happen. I can't think where the prompts would be to get a different ending. There must be one where I can see. So Connor leapt for Emma and fell, which sees you die. Deviant jumps with Emma. So there are two possible outcomes for Deviant jumps. And it seems that building trust will always get there. So lying to the Deviant always goes to build trust, blah 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 blah. Negotiate with Deviant, lie about gun. There's probably more I could have done when I lied about the gun. Interesting. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more to get. I imagine one would be to do... I'm going to say no for now because it keeps putting me into a point where I feel it would be much easier if I just hit play from checkpoint. But it seems I can't pick that checkpoint, so it's going to put me back into that point anyway. Yeah, I'm going to do one more run through, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let the time run out and just see what happens. I imagine it means that he'll jump, but there's a chance he might not jump, which would be good, wouldn't it? Like, it'd be good if he didn't jump and everything was fine. Everything was hunky-dory. So yeah, again, the checkpoint is here. It seems I gain nothing from finding out that he's got the gun, so I'm not even going to look at that. Understand what happened. Search hostage's room. Search hostage's room, because that at least gives us the prompt that he's Daniel, which seemed like a good way to bond. That's the other thing as well. Now that I've played through it a few times, I kind of know what data seems pivotal and what data is just there. Which does help. It helps story build. It helps you understand much more about the characters and why they're doing the things they're doing. But, you know, it's just surplus to requirements to a degree. So, I need that. And it's good to know he's replaced, maybe? I don't know. Screw it. Let's go look at the cop. And get myself the gun one more time. I still think the gun will lead to an interesting outcome. Three out of 3 reconstruct. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Can I just pick up without doing the reconstruction? Like, I know there's a gun there. I can see the gun there. That's annoying. So even if you know something's there, you can't get it. Let's do the reconstruction. See, as I said, taking the gun. But I think taking the gun is going to be all I do. Just to see if doing less research makes it any harder. And I feel that this is being easier than it needs to be just because it is the first level. It's going to be... Stop looking at that book, I don't care about that book. Go outside, see what happens. Still get shot.
Stay back! Don't come any closer or I'll jump!
No, please, I'm begging you!
So it seems that there isn't... It is a kind of time prompt to have the guy shot in there. It doesn't seem to be as clear as I thought it was. I thought it was a case of you had to go do these things, then he would shoot them. But I think it's just a case that I was doing them in that order.
I've come to get you out of this.
So yeah, I don't know what happened. Done a terrible job as a detective. And as you can see, it's not looking likely that I'm going to do well here.
I know you're angry, Daniel. But you need to trust me and let me help you.
I don't want your help! Nobody can help me! All I want is for all this to stop! I just want all this to stop!
Okay, well, I'm going to keep coming forward anyway. I am not armed.
No, I don't have a gun.
You're lying! I know you have a gun!
I'm telling you the truth, Daniel. I came here unarmed. I know you and Emma were very close. You think she betrayed you, but she's done nothing wrong.
She lied to me!
To quickly build that back up.
But I was wrong. She's just like all the other humans.
Daniel, no!
So it seems I'm getting a very similar outcome, despite not doing much of the thing. Let's do sympathetic. See how that goes.
I know it's not your fault.
I'm moving a bit
These
closer.
emotions you're feeling are just errors in your software.
No, it's not my fault. I never wanted
I imagine
this.
later levels will be much more difficult. I just really want to shoot this guy.
But I
Let
was
me shoot him.
nothing to them. Just a slave to be ordered around.
Okay. So I can talk to hostage now. That's interesting.
Are you okay, Emma?
Please help me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Nobody's going to die. Stay calm. Everything's going to be fine.
I can't stand that noise anymore. Tell that helicopter to get out of here.
Let's accept this time and see if it makes any difference. I'm not sure it will make much of a difference though.
I did what you wanted. I'm your last chance, Daniel. If you let it slip, they'll kill you. Let the hostage go. You have no other choice.
Come on, let me shoot him. I
I
feel
want
that
everyone to leave. And I want a car. When I'm outside the city, I'll let her go.
so yeah, again we've got to the same point as we had before. There we go. Bye bye. Intimidate.
What now, Daniel? Is this really what you want?
You lied to me. You lied to me.
I'm gonna try and talk it
It's up
still.
to you how the story ends. Make the right choice, Daniel.
I'll still fucking shoot you if I need to. Oh shit, maybe I fucking won't. So that went well. Turns out I cannot bluff a
didn't want
robot.
this. No. You left me no choice. No choice.
Surely he's gonna get shot now. Oh crap. So, this must be the bad ending, I imagine. They obviously don't care about him. Mission failed. So that's the first mission failed screen that we've seen. And it looks like that would just be the end of Connor. And that's interesting because I think a lot of people would probably try to like intimidate him and talk him down with a gun. So the fact that sometimes you are just going to have to make these decisions very early on. So we now know 2 deaths. 2 deaths. That's from using gun. Other one would obviously kill the guy. Lie about gun. Be honest about the gun. Takes me up there. Lie to leave you and build trust. Okay. We are going one more time. One more, then we are done. And I am just going for that gunshot. I'm not even going to explore anything. I'm just going to go out there and just try my hardest to shoot this robot in his head, much like he shot me in mine. It seems like the right thing to do, you know, when robots be doing shooty things. And I'm also going to be doing this in a way that just is straight up, not even looking at clues, not going to the room. I'm not going to know his name. I am going straight to the reconstruction scene, finding the gun, and that is all I'm going to do.
All units hold positions. Negotiators moving in.
So it seems as well like I'm not actually a detective, I'm a negotiator. which I know has been established already and they've already said it, but it's interesting. It means that like they have made these robots basically into a very dangerous police role, just so they don't have to sacrifice humans anymore, because, you know, trying to be negotiator, especially when you're a face-to-face negotiator, can really result in, you know, getting shot in the head, much like Daniel Connor did. So we have the weapon. We're going to take the weapon, head straight outside afterwards. One of the weird things is the right stick controls the camera, but it also controls picking things up, and it's just an odd way of doing things, isn't it? Like, you wouldn't expect that to be something that you did. You're not dialogue, not action. Shot in the arm. Classic. What a classic thing you're doing there.
Don't come any closer or I'll jump!
So, we are going to push forward with no information about what's happening here. All we know is we have a gun, the name with a question mark.
My name is Connor. What about you? What is your name?
Daniel! Yeah, that's the name they gave me! Stay back!
So it's still a good way to bond, you still find out his name. We're going to go through this way.
I'm an android, just like you. I know how you're feeling.
What difference does it make if you're an android?
So he doesn't seem to care about that.
Side. I can't understand how I'm feeling. Are you armed?
No.
No, I don't have a gun.
You're lying! I know you have a gun!
I'm telling you the truth, Daniel. I came here unarmed. There's no way out, Daniel. What you've done is too serious. The only question is whether or not you take another innocent life.
Okay.
It's not up to you!
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
holding all the cards!
I can get close
I
enough to
die,
fire the gun.
She dies!
So there's the screamy
You hear me?
thing. We'll push forward one more time. Let's talk to the
Are you
hostage.
okay, Emma?
Please help me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Nobody's going to die. Stay calm. Everything's going to be fine.
Let's be
Listen.
sympathetic.
I know it's not your fault.
I think we're close enough to
These
take the shot
emotions
now.
you're feeling are just errors in your software.
There you go. If you're someone who
It's not my
doesn't
fault.
want to be doing the
I never
exploring,
wanted
it
this.
seems you can still brute force this story,
love them.
and that's fine. You just know a bit less about these little mini
But I was
subplots that are
nothing to
happening.
them. Just a slave to be ordered around. I can't stand that noise anymore. Tell that helicopter to get out of here.
So, get rid of the helicopter. Off you go. And this time we'll just try something a tiny bit different, which will hopefully lead the gun.
I'm
Say
your
last
chance,
chance.
Daniel.
See if that helps.
If you let it slip, they'll kill you. Let the hostage go. You have no other choice.
I want everyone to leave.
So this was the
And I
gun
want a
prompt
car.
last time, I think.
When I'm outside the city, I'll let her go.
Obviously that's not going to happen. Use gun. Execute. Bye bye. That's a really nice shot. Will people now try and stop him because he has a gun? Or will he give up the gun or something? Awesome. And there you go, one more ending, which takes us to 4 of the possible 6. And that is going to be all that I show you. Let's look at the world stats though. So, world stats, 8%, 3%, 33%, 35%. So these are the most common, it seems. The most common are these two. Very small amount are seeing Connor shooting the Deviant or the Deviant shooting Connor. And then there's obviously the 2 other choices as well that we'll find out at a later date maybe. Or maybe you'll find out before me, but you know, I won't be streaming it. I can't really keep going through the same thing again and again. I imagine it's very frustrating seeing me go through the same thing again and again. So until next time, I've been Brett Claxton, otherwise known as B-Clax, otherwise known as Bretty, otherwise known as, you know, whatever you want to call me. Make sure to, you know, like, subscribe, talk, whatever you do on Twitch to my channel. It'll mean very much to me. And you can also find me on YouTube by searching Bretty2, which is BRETTEH and then the number 2. Long story why it's called that, but you know, search, find me, and watch more of my videos. Until next time, I've been great, you've been wonderful. Goodbye.